You're looking live this morning at Capitol Hill, where lawmakers in Washington, D.C. will be voting to restock funds to help small businesses. King 5's Kara Alfallen is live in Kent this morning, one place where businesses are being impacted by the outbreak. And Kara, there's a pretty big fight happening right now in D.C. about how this money will be handed out, right?
Yeah, good morning. So these small businesses, they really could use all the help that they can get. They are struggling right now, but politicians, as you hear, they're not exactly on the same side on all parts of this issue when it comes to the details of how this money is going to be handed out. So today, the Senate will vote to add $250 billion to the Paycheck Protection Program. So that is the program that is providing loans for small businesses to pay workers that have been laid off because of the coronavirus pandemic. Democrats are saying not all small businesses are the same, and some Republicans are saying the money is running out. Then there are the small business owners themselves left feeling helpless.
It's emotionally draining, it's mentally and physically draining, and I pray a lot, but that's about all I can do.
The president is saying there is no time for bipartisan games, stressing how important it is to get this money to businesses immediately. Billions of dollars have been requested, but very little has been paid. And now tens of millions of small businesses are waiting on this help. Of course, politicians, they can't exactly get it right when it comes to agreeing on this altogether, but they do agree on this one thing. These small businesses, they do need help and they need some relief, and hopefully that will be on the way soon. We'll have to see what they vote. I'm live here in Kent, Kara Alfallen, King 5 News.
Kara, thank you. Well, you could start seeing your stimulus check as early as today or tomorrow. However, the majority of deposits are expected next week. It all depends on whether the government has your bank information from previous tax returns.
Well, more stores boarded up across western Washington, Mimi, and they have become a target for some thieves. King 5's Natalie Swaby this morning shows us that even essential businesses are seeing problems too.
We checked in with law enforcement around the region and with businesses who say they've already been hit hard by the coronavirus crisis, and now this is just another costly problem.
Towards the bottom of your screen, you can see two people peering through a window, followed by the sound of glass breaking, then a blurry figure pedaling away.
So it's just kind of frustrating. We have so many things that are going on, that laying off employees and, trying to do our best by the neighborhood and all that kind of stuff. And to have some person come and just, assault us is just kind of a big bummer.
Steve Donahue owns Recycled Cycles in Seattle, an essential business ready to make bike repairs and sales, but business has slowed down so much he's had to lay off half of his staff. Now this break-in is just another burden and a familiar frustration in recent weeks. At this Shell station in the Magnolia neighborhood, someone pried open a vending machine. At Compass Housing Alliance in Seattle, thieves loaded up a cart full of donated food and hygiene products meant for homeless and low-income people. And at Sheer Magic and Federal Way, hair product and styling tools stolen. As these places tally up their losses, law enforcement has numbers too. Back on April 2nd, the Seattle Police Blotter said over the last week they'd received nearly twice as many reports of burglaries at businesses compared to the same period in 2019. When Tacoma police compare the last 4 weeks to the same time period last year, they report residential burglaries are up 6.5%, but non-residential burglaries are down more than 26%. And Snohomish County Sheriff's Office had 22 burglaries in March. The agency says that's on par with previous years. Back at this bike shop.
So we're doing about, 20% of what we would normally do on a beautiful spring day like this.
A vulnerable time has businesses spreading the warning to others to be extra vigilant.
Seattle police say they've been actively working burglary investigations, and they've also been sharing security and safety information with the business community. In Seattle, Natalie Swaby, King 5 News.
There are now more than 432,000 cases of coronavirus in the U.S., including more than 14,000 people who have died. Nearly 2,000 deaths were reported yesterday, the most in a single day. Washington has more than 9,000 confirmed cases. Our state is now number 12 on the list of states with the most cases, and this map shows you where those coronavirus cases are centered. Just days ago, Washington was number 10. So again, we are now 12th. This comes as states in the South and the East are seeing a surge in cases there. Doctors and ICU nurses around the country are risking their lives every day caring for people infected with coronavirus, and that's taking an emotional toll on these medical workers. Michelle Casada talked with a nurse who's working 14-hour shifts and then isolating herself from her own children.
It still has the stickers to it.
The highlight of Natalia Ramos's week, getting a replacement washing machine to clean her nursing uniforms.
I just felt devastated. How am I supposed to sit there and help save somebody when I don't have anything else to wear?
Every day she goes to work as an ICU nurse caring for COVID-19 infected patients and potential cases. She knows she puts herself at risk.
I go and I change my uniform that's contaminated. I put it in a bag and I put on a different set. However, when I come through the garage, I throw everything in a corner and my shoes, everything bagged up, and I go and I take a shower immediately.
She's putting in 14-hour-long days at work.
We have an amazing team where we'll say jokes and we're gonna get through this. And this is what we signed up for. We signed up to save lives no matter what.
Natalia says they're already short-staffed, and then she comes home to no one.
I feel lonely. It's sad.
Everyone too afraid to be around her. Her 4 children living with dad now until this passes.
He cried telling me, please, I don't want our children to be affected. We love you. We'll video chat with you. We'll do whatever it takes.
A single mom, she says her only option is to keep working and hope her children, especially her 2-year-old son, will understand someday.
So they do say that I'm their hero, and that gives me strength.
So many sacrifices. That nurse says that when her washer was delivered, crews were given clear instructions not to go into her home. And of course, that was just one more added stress that eventually brought her to tears. The driver felt so bad. He said, quote, "I don't care if I lose my job. I'm going in and I'm going to install it for you because you fight for us." It's just another example of how people are showing their kindness during these unprecedented times.
You said it, Mimi. Well, people in need of emergency dental work right now are turning to a free mobile clinic that's now offering services. Medical Teams International is holding weekly mobile clinics in Linwood. This comes after Governor Jay Inslee ordered dentists to close their offices, remember, to preserve critical equipment for the healthcare workers caring for coronavirus patients. But before anyone can get emergency dental work completed, they first have to get screened.
They stay in their car, we take their temperature, we ask them some screening questions. If they're sick, we can't treat them right now.
Now, the team is looking for more dentists and dental assistants to volunteer in order to keep services going however long they are needed. We want to know when and where. If you want to know when and where they're going to be operating the mobile unit, text the keyword dentist to us to 206-448-4545 and we will send you a link. Also, look at this image we got from the Department of Defense. It shows Army parachute riggers assigned to the Special Forces Group sewing surgical masks for patients at Joint Base Lewis McChord. In the caption, the Department of Defense included the hashtag "In This Together." So no matter what your job is, Mimi, everyone can find a way to pitch in.
Absolutely. Washington now has new rules to make sure high school seniors graduate on time this year. The State Board of Education will allow public school districts, charter and tribal schools to waive certain state graduation requirements. Districts must prove they made a good faith effort to give students ways to complete the credits they need. Applications for the waiver should be available by April 15th. The board plans to have a special meeting on April 21st to review the first round of applications. The University of Washington will not hold in-person graduation ceremonies this year. Instead, graduates of the UW's 3 campuses can participate in a webcast on June 13th. This year's graduates can also take part in next year's commencement exercises, and some students are not happy with that decision. Someone started a petition asking UW to consider other options, and so far 3,000 people have signed it. Jake?
Yeah, taking a live look outside now at CenturyLink Field, Mimi. Tonight at 8 o'clock, we're going to see a big sign of unity in the city of Seattle. The stadium, along with other notable venues across the country, will light up blue to show support for all of our frontline healthcare and essential workers fighting coronavirus. The hashtags Light It Blue and Make It Blue will be used to share the movement across, of course, all of social media.